A man knows booty when he sees booty.
Come on now.
If you want to crown them, then crown their ass.
Tom Brady should have stayed in that retirement home. He should have left.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
The Jets are better constructed right now. They're closer to a Super Bowl than the New York Giants.
I would like.
They're a quarterback away. Corey's living in his own NFL right now.
Justin Fields is playing good. He's been playing a lot better.
You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.
Yeah, wow.
Yo, you don't like to hump? Yeah, not a big humper.
Yo.
It's Football Friday on WHPC Sports Talk.
It's time to play the game. Time to play the game.
Football Friday Playoff Edition, Wild Card Weekend Edition on WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Got quite the show for you today. Break down the Giants playoff matchup versus the Vikings. What are the Jets going to do with their quarterback position? Are they going to trade up? Are they going to get a veteran? We'll talk about that. What are the Bears going to do with that number one pick? And of course, as usual on Football Friday, we got some games to pick. All 6 games of Wild Card Weekend we will break down for you, as we normally do. But before we get into all that, it's your host for today, Joshua Umahi, joined by Eric Williams, Corey David, and Nico Weech. How we doing, fellas?
Doing good. Can't complain. Giants in the playoffs. I mean, so far until they eliminated, it's good. Hopefully I can win some money these next couple.
All right. So priority level: your FanDuel parlay or the Giants beating the Vikings? What you want to see more? Don't lie to me.
Giants beat the Vikings.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
I've lost so many times. I'm numb. I'm numb. So I can
desensitized. 1-800-GAMBLER, Corey.
I can take an L, but would I prefer my Giants to advance further into the playoffs? Yes.
Wait, so you bet it against your Giants?
We're not gonna discuss that.
Oh my God!
There's no way.
Wow.
There's no way you.
I ain't stupid now. I ain't stupid now.
You might be.
Nah.
I don't think many people are taking the Vikings.
No, the public is big on the Giants. It's crazy.
I'll be. Yeah. Nah. Look.
Cash out now, Corey. Cash out now.
I took all the favorites. Nobody better mess up this weekend. Here's looking at you, Cowboys, on Monday night. I need you, and I don't know why. I just got this fear of Seattle doing something to.
No. Don't see it.
No.
Seattle?
You don't see it.
No.
Honestly.
Could they keep it close?
Yeah, right.
But
I don't know.
I did have the Bengals on upset watch, but until Lamar came out with his news, I was like, oh yeah. It's right.
Even if Lamar was playing, I would not take the Ravens.
I would, because they beat them earlier this season.
Hey, we can debate
Bengals are one of the hottest teams right now.
Yeah, but you gotta understand that strategy that I'm gonna say Baltimore with Lamar has. Well, all they had to do was literally cross midfield, and it's points. They get you points.
Okay.
Am I not lying? That's how they beat him. It was Lamar and Justin Tucker.
I mean, I told you on Wednesday, this is the time of year, playoff time, where I don't care about what teams did in week 3, week 4, week 5. Right. I only care about, and we know that NFL playoffs is all about, and we've seen it the last few years, who's playing the best when January rolls around. So you might have a great record. Like the Eagles. We talked about the Eagles. They're, 1 seed, but they're banged up. They peak too early. Teams that peak too early, I saw it with my Saints in 2018. We've seen it with other teams like Nico's Packers over the years. I know. It's rough. It's rough when you have a great season, but you know your team peaked too early and it's not looking good for the playoffs.
Nope.
If you stumble into the playoffs, it's not a good sign. And the good thing about what the Giants have going on is that they're going in on a high note, and we all know they're traveling to Minnesota to play the Vikings in the Wild Card Weekend matchup. That'll be Sunday at 4:30. We'll get to all the games, but this is the one obviously locally we got to focus on. Great news for the Giants. They did not assign anybody an injury designation for Sunday's game. So with that, you had Adoree Jackson, a full participant in practice today, and Leonard Williams, Azeez Ojulari, and Evan Neal, who are all question marks throughout the week. They're all good to go. And some honors for the New York Giants, too. So Andrew Thomas at left tackle and Dexter Lawrence at nose tackle inside defensive line. They were both named to the AP NFL All-Pro second team, and those results came out today. So it's a lot of good vibes with the Giants, but it's playoff time. It's all about Sunday at 4:30. I'm asked the question, what specifically do the Giants have to do matchup-wise, game plan-wise? What do they got to do to get this win in Minnesota?
Get pressure. Because I was randomly watching the highlights of the game that they played a couple weeks back, but yeah. I was watching that game against the Vikings, and I just, from watching the highlights, they weren't getting a lot of pressure on them in that game. I feel as much as Kayvon Thibodeau has improved, in that game, he was kind of a little bit stonewalled. He couldn't get necessarily to Kirk Cousins in time, and I felt as though Justin Jefferson was just carving up our defense as far as just getting whatever he wanted in coverage-wise. But I do feel like the Giants need to take advantage of the Vikings' weak secondary and the fact that Richie James was killing them in the slot. I mean, as far as getting them slants going, that was something that they was going. A lot of play-action play. One thing also, you have to get Saquon Barkley more involved because after watching that game, again, he necessarily wasn't a focal point in that game. It was more of Daniel Jones and making plays off the play action. And it was a close game as well, so, yeah. And make sure your kicking game is right.
This is a game where I can see the Giants offense really getting off because we talked about it on Wednesday. The Vikings defense, they're bottom 4 in passing defense, rushing defense, scoring defense, and total defense. Everywhere you want to look, they ass. So if you want to look at that, yeah, but also you got to make sure that, Patrick Peterson and Harrison Smith and guys that they have coming off the edge, I believe they're top 10 in takeaways per game. So I said it earlier this year, they kind of reminded me when they were rolling of the 2009 Saints in terms of their defense wasn't highly ranked, but they got a lot of turnovers, and we also had a bounty program that worked out.
I would love for it to be a situation where necessarily as the Giants defense, you're not so predictable. As everybody know Wink Martindale likes to do a lot of blitz packages and stuff like that, but I would like them to more rely on coverage wise because I feel like you have to pay close attention to a guy like Justin Jefferson. One thing I can say though is I like from watching the highlights was the fact that we did a good job against their run game. I want to say Dalvin Cook didn't have that much of an impact on them in that game. So yeah, that's something to look forward to. Neither did Thielen. It was really mainly Justin Jefferson killing us.
And Justin Jefferson, that's the one player on the Vikings. I think they're going to stop the run pretty well, the Giants. But I think Justin Jefferson, I actually think Adam Thielen is not going to really factor in this game. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm looking more like KJ Osborne who can get down the field and make something out of nothing with short passes. That's really who I'm looking at. But Justin Jefferson, that's the guy. And he didn't have a great end to the regular season. Obviously, that game in Green Bay was shut down, one catch for 15 yards. Mm-hmm. Even last week, they beat the Bears. They finally had a more than a one-score win. So good for them, but in a meaningless game, Justin Jefferson really didn't have that much of a factor in that game either. So that's a guy. It's his first playoff game. Obviously, I don't know if you want to call him a generational talent, but he's up there in terms of star wide receivers.
I would say right now he's on that trajectory that Odell Beckham was on. Where it's looking like he has the potential to be the future of the league, but let's hope he stays on the right course. Hopefully avoids injuries. Because we see what that has taken a toll on Odell Beckham's career. Once was touted as being the next great. Now he's more. He's still a great talent, but he's more of an average receiver now. But another thing that I would want to point out is the difference. I want to see the difference. Hopefully that Adoree does make the difference because in that game against the Vikings, that was a game that he missed. So naturally, he probably primarily would be on Justin Jefferson this game coming up.
516-572-7440. Giants fans, we're previewing your big-time Sunday matchup against the Minnesota Vikings.
But did you see the quote? I forgot what offensive lineman just said it, but there was a quote out there that he was talking about how he felt as though the Vikings crowd wasn't loud enough when they played them. Because, mind you, they did play them away. So they have been in that building. So it's just he felt that they wasn't. I feel like you shouldn't be trying to give the other team, I want to say, blackboard material, where it's they can use this, this is motivation right here. You don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, if I'm Brian Dable, I don't love that quote just because, like you said, it's a team in the Vikings that if you catch them lacking or they're not really up to the task in terms of preparation and they don't have that edge about them, then you can really catch them and beat them. But if you give them any type of motivation, they're tough. So it's going to be interesting to see how this game plays out. I can see it being a close game. I don't really see a blowout happening either way. I mean, both these teams were the one-score game darlings this year, so I don't know. We're gonna pick this game in a little bit, but is there any as a Giants fan, what's your major concern as it comes to this game? What's the one thing that
I already been saying it, Justin Jefferson.
But what else? That's the obvious. But you scared of Kirk Cousins at all? You scared of nah?
I've seen him make bonehead decisions, and watching highlights, he threw a pick. A blatant pick, clear as day. And I'm like, certain stuff that he did that game just didn't make sense for me. Like I said, he got one guy that I'm scared of on that team. Defensive wise, another thing that does worry me, their pass rush. Their pass rush was able to get to Daniel Jones a lot in that game. Just watching, and the fact that a lot of Daniel Jones's old tendencies showed up in that game as far as, if they get to certain times, he would let the ball up and he fumbled. So I'm worried about that. One thing I hope Daniel Jones does is, be protective of the ball.
We'll see how it goes, and we'll pick that game in a little bit once we get to our game picks. But a topic that I really wanted to get to today, we haven't talked about it enough, is the New York Jets, and more specifically their plans at the quarterback position. And I can loop another team into this with the Chicago Bears. I'll explain that in a little bit, but just to report some Jets news earlier in the week. Mike LaFleur, he left. He left, just walked out of the Jets' offensive coordinator position. I thought he walked out.
I thought he resigned. He resigned, right? I thought they fired him, actually.
I thought it was going to be a firing, but they I don't know whether the Jets...
Mutual separation, wasn't it?
Yeah, okay. I don't understand that.
So they say.
Yeah, I'm sure they're dressing it up to soften the blow, but he's out as the offensive coordinator for the New York Jets. We'll see where they go with that. But the topic I really wanted to get to, something interesting I saw earlier today. So on Bovada Sportsbook, the Jets are actually, when it comes to who's going to make the number one overall pick, because we know what happened last week. The Bears lost, the Texans won. That put the Bears in position to get the number one pick. And they already have their quarterback. And the best place to be is the NFL franchise when you have a bad team. High pick in the draft, you already have your quarterback. Mm-hmm. Or a quarterback where you can kind of dangle and trade. So that's where the Bears are at right now. And the Jets are actually among the betting favorites with Bovada to make the number one pick in the 2023 NFL draft. That would obviously require a blockbuster trade with the Chicago Bears to acquire it. So with that being said, I want to come at this from the Jets angle first. What should they do? I know how Brayton, the Jets fan, feels. He doesn't want to draft a quarterback.
Me off so much with that take.
Well, why he piss you off?
All right, I understand your team sucks at developing quarterbacks, but to be fair, your team's drafting the wrong quarterbacks.
Exactly.
Zach Wilson?
I agree with that.
That moved the needle for you?
It never did. It never did.
Come on. This is CJ Stroud or Bryce Young.
And sometimes, people want to say, look at Zach Wilson's stats in college, or they want to say, look
played at BYU against ass teams.
Exactly. So if you want to take into account the competition, I really didn't understand it. Now, he flew up the charts for reasons, but the Jets did make that pick.
One pro day throw.
That's crazy. But they made the pick. They've had to deal with it. They won too many games. They won 2 meaningless games in a row that year. We all know the story. They could have had Trevor Lawrence, but they have Zach Wilson. They could have had Justin Fields, but they took Zach Wilson. So there you go. But with Justin Fields, that's going to be an interesting name to watch too, because the Bears, like I said, they're in a great position. They can either keep Justin Fields, make the number one overall pick, keep Justin Fields, trade the number one pick for, to the Jets maybe, or they could trade Justin Fields altogether. If you're the Bears, what do you do in terms of that decision?
I would trade Fields.
Yeah?
I think you could get a huge package for him.
I'm not going to front. I'm not too sure I've ever heard a situation like the one I'm about to propose. So you only hear about stuff like this in the NBA.
Oh.
A 3-team trade.
I like that.
Look, and I can tell you all the components that it works perfect for.
All right.
Baltimore Ravens, Chicago Bears, and New York Jets. You trade Fields to the Baltimore Ravens, and he's already kind of their type of quarterback because the system's already built around a running quarterback. You, as the Chicago Bears, have the first overall pick, so you can go out and go get a younger quarterback who you can still have. If you get a younger quarterback, you still have cap room now. You have a rookie contract that you can go out and go get starters for, and then you send Lamar Jackson to the New York Jets, and they get their franchise quarterback. And I don't think that. I mean, obviously they'll kind of tax him, but I don't think they would have to give up as much if they were just trading directly with the Baltimore Ravens.
So what's going back to Chicago?
Well, you might just have to give up. I would probably give up either the first or a first for Lamar.
No, but what's Chicago getting?
Yeah, because you're saying the Ravens are getting Justin Fields, the Jets are getting Lamar Jackson.
What's Chicago getting?
Are they just getting more draft compensation?
We're sending the first overall pick. We're sending our first round pick to them.
I wouldn't do that. That doesn't move.
Okay,
what's the Jets pick this year? Like
13, 14?
Yeah. You're trading back to. I wouldn't do that.
If you're the Bears.
Yeah, if I'm the Bears, I want to do that. I want a boatload of things.
See, I like the idea in terms of getting Justin Fields to the Ravens and getting him with an offensive coordinator because they swear by Greg Roman, so he's going to stay there.
But I feel like they would want to get. I would feel like they would want to get off of Lamar Jackson because I feel like they necessarily wouldn't want to keep him because of the fact that you would have to pay that exorbitant amount of price.
Well, yeah, we know they don't want to pay Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, so you would send that over to the Jets because they would pay that. And you would
I understand.
But you wouldn't be in a situation.
But what is Chicago getting? You're getting just one first-round pick for Justin Fields?
I mean, you could finagle a little bit more. I mean,
if it's a 3-team trade, then I want, Baltimore's first, New York's first, and then a weapon from New York.
Like, the Ravens are going to get the most out of this deal. Like, we know that. It's off the fact that they're trading Lamar Jackson. So they'd be getting the most compensation. But the Bears, I don't know. Because I believe that when it comes down to it,
I feel like
their GM wants to draft their own quarterback.
Yeah, but I feel like if I know you would want more, right? You would want more, but I feel like if you're just trying to get off of Justin Fields, it would be better. It would be just I would do a 1-for-1. I would do the 1-for-1 because we all know I'll be like this. It'd be like a.
So the 1-for-1 is Justin Fields for a first-round pick.
No.
I would because they gotta get like a first, a third.
You need a first, a third, a weapon for your new first overall pick quarterback.
Neither one of them have a weapon really, except for Garrett Wilson. I'm not sure.
And they're not going to trade
Elijah Moore, maybe.
Oh,
yeah, I can see that. But I'm like, I feel like this is a trade that could work out if somebody's just not being too greedy. Because you get off Justin Fields. Jets get their quarterback, and you get a bunch load of draft capital, and you have a situation where you draft the young quarterback, and you could build around him. I'm thinking.
No, I like your idea.
I like the idea. I don't know if the compensation's good enough for Chicago, though.
That thing is, don't get greedy. It works out if nobody gets greedy.
I mean. Justin Fields had a great season in Chicago.
He has,
on a bad team.
But look. The thing about him is, though, and a lot of people saying this, he's starting to just be known as a runner first and not a great passer.
I mean, they said the same thing about Lamar, though, when he started.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, I believe Lamar in his second year led the league in either touchdowns or yardage. When he won his MVP in the second year.
Well, yeah, Justin Fields.
He also had weapons that year.
Exactly.
Justin Fields has Chase Claypool.
Hollywood Brown and Willie Snead.
I believe that's a lot better than Darnell Mooney and Chase Claypool.
I don't know about that.
It's up for debate.
Because look, Willie Snead was out the league the year after. Come on now.
Yeah, but it wasn't like Hollywood Brown was bad when he was with Lamar.
He was
MVP he was having a good year.
He wasn't good because if I remember, there was a lot of drops. That was a lot of things.
That was also his rookie year.
if I'm the Bears, like here's the thing. I think they're once again they're in a great spot, but Justin Fields, they can really take advantage of him being so dynamic as a runner, and you just know there's going to be offensive coordinators and coaches out there that's going to be like, wait a minute. So this guy is this good as a runner. He's still developing as a passer. And I thought he had a decent season as a passer, but again, he didn't have the weapons or like the offensive. I can't even name the Bears' offensive coordinator. They have a defensive head coach. I'm sure a lot of their games they went into the mindset of like Justin Fields just needs to do enough and be a game manager. I think this guy at his peak could be a lot better than a game manager.
He could be
I think he's a future superstar.
Top 12 quarterback.
That's basically what Baltimore need right now. If you just send them that, I feel like right now where that team is, right now they kind of need that guy that's just a good man, do enough for us not to screw the game up.
So do we all agree we think the Bears are going to trade Justin Fields instead of the number one pick?
I'm not 100% sure.
I would say that. I don't know if Baltimore's a team. I would say more. I'd say between three teams: Carolina, New Orleans, and New York. I
feel like they might be that crazy enough where they might draft a quarterback even with Justin Fields on this team.
Oh God!
And this was like they just putting pressure on me.
They can't do that though, because then
you mess up.
But Justin Fields they'll get nothing for Justin Fields.
We got the guy. True.
The package would be a lot smaller because now teams know that they need to move one of them.
I just don't have a trade to get off him so soon. That would kind of be crazy. That's why I'm just not confident in him. Just this all of a sudden just trading.
It's just as a whole, like the NFL quarterback carousel is going to be crazy this year.
Yeah,
like this might be, and I've been a football fan for years and decades. Like this might be the craziest offseason we see, like ever.
You got Jimmy G. You don't know what's going to happen with Trey Lance.
If Brock Purdy makes it to the Super Bowl, that's their quarterback. That's their quarterback.
Even if he plays good in a loss, that's their quarterback.
And then we don't know what's going to happen in Oakland with Carr leaving.
Well, we know what's going to happen. Carr's going to be gone.
Carr's going to be gone, but what's going to happen with, like, who's going to come in and replace him? We don't know what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers.
I hope he retires. But the one thing I will not stand for this offseason, if the Jets go after Derek Carr, Jimmy G, you're solving a long-term problem with a short-term quarterback.
Yeah.
Hey, we brought up the Raiders. We have a Las Vegas area code calling into WHPC Sports Talk. Carl, what's going on?
Not much. How's everything?
I'm good. Can't complain.
Yeah, well, again, lifelong Giant fan. You got to get Darius Slayton downfield. Even if you don't complete the pass, you let the refs take the game over. And once you spread out that secondary, that's when I said to you before, the most important position for the Giants is tight ends. If you can get those passes to the tight ends and a couple of flares out to Saquon, I mean, then, if you do that early, you'll be wearing down those DBs real fast.
I think Saquon Barkley's going to have a huge game, too. Like, I'm talking, like, multiple touchdowns, some catches, some big yardage runs. Like, I think he's going to be the guy. Obviously, he's the face of the New York Giants. I think he shows up in this game. That definitely.
And the forecast for Frisco, or Santa Clara, heavy rain, heavy wind. So, bet accordingly.
That 49ers Seahawks game. You know what? I've kind of changed my mind from where I was at the start of the show. I think the Seahawks are the type of team, they're young and they don't know any better. So when it comes to Geno Smith, who's the all-time leading passer in Seahawks history. Yep. Not Russell Wilson, it's Geno Smith. Did it in year one as a Seahawk. I think he can make some things happen, but at the end of the day, I know it's a divisional matchup. I think the Niners got it, but the Seahawks will keep it competitive.
And the cat's out of the bag as far as Dak. He's very, very good throwing against a zone defense. But if you slow down his wide receivers, that's when the interceptions start. Because he's a rhythm quarterback, and that's how you take advantage of him. And again, he sat out 5 games, and he still led the NFL in interceptions.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Cowboys. They frustrate me so much. And again, I don't even like the Cowboys. But you would think a team that talented, a quarterback that talented with the weapons he has, they don't need to complicate things. I know the Commanders really shut down the run game, and that forced Dak to make some decisions he's not normally used to making. But
I was like, what's going on with that game? I was genuinely shocked. I'm like, this should have been a blowout.
14 of 37 passing for Dak Prescott, and Dallas left the starters, and I feel like too long because it felt like stuff started to snowball, and the way they were playing started to get like worse and worse, and that's not how you want to go into a game versus Tampa Tom with that. So I don't know, the Dak and everything, he's on notice. He's on notice. If he wants to be a quarterback, he's wants to be known like, or he's paid like. It starts against Tampa this week because it's not looking good for him with the way he closed the regular season.
And Brady's never lost to Dallas. So, I mean, I know that's not unimportant when it comes to this game, but think about it.
Yeah, I try not to buy into that just because he was on the Patriots, loaded teams for years, and then played them earlier this year. Both teams just trying to figure out who they are. I think Tampa Bay, I know the media's like, oh, Tom Brady, the greatest thing since sliced bread, but I think, look at the rest of the Buccaneers. Like, it's not what you want. That's the bad team.
Yeah, and I'm going to throw something at you, and it's incredible. And I know they're not playing this weekend, but with KC, since they won the Super Bowl, their record in one-score games is 2 wins and 27 losses.
Damn. Is that real?
Yeah. In one-score games, they are not a very good team. I mean, they'll blow you out, don't get me wrong. But when it gets a little bit tight, even with the good field goal kicker, well, again, everybody's got good field goal kickers. They're actually a rather atrocious team when it gets close.
That's crazy, but you remember back to last year's AFC Championship game. And then if you want to talk about the Chargers or Jaguars moving on to play them, because I think the Bengals are going to eliminate the Ravens, so there's no chance they go to Kansas City, Baltimore. I think both those teams, Chargers, Jaguars, can give the Chiefs a competitive game. I'm not too high on the Chiefs this year. Mahomes will win MVP, but
you don't got. I think the Chiefs could go to the Super Bowl.
They could, but am I going to pick them? No.
So wait,
it's the Bengals conference.
No, it's not. Okay.
They went to the Super Bowl last year.
Come on now.
Come on now.
What do you mean?
Look.
Come on now. What?
That was a fluke.
A fluke.
What?
That was a fluke.
They're 12-4 again this year.
Yo,
It's a fluke. They're not going back.
Corey, I got a question for you. You think 2022 Georgia's team is better than 2019 LSU team?
No.
Okay.
Whew.
At least he's saying in one department.
And can I throw one out to the Jet fans?
Sure, Dave. Go ahead.
And I'm not the first one to explore this because I listen to late night TV. I'm listening to late night radio.
Mm-hmm.
You could do it easily. All you got to do is grab Matt Ryan, have him tutor Mr. Wilson.
Not anybody but him.
You a funny man.
Oh, what he gonna teach him? How to blow the biggest leads?
No. Well, again, that's coaching. A lot of times, that's got again. I know he's a quarterback on the back. He's in the back end of his career.
What was the common denominator in those leads?
Well, again, it's coaching. I mean, that's what it all comes down. I mean, remember the Super Bowl with Atlanta? If the coach had stayed in the locker room, they would have won.
Dave, hold up a second, because if you want to say like the Jets in hindsight should have had a veteran quarterback to mentor Zach Wilson when he came into the league,
somebody could have audibled a couple of players. If you're a veteran quarterback, you should have audible to runs.
I'm just saying, like Matt Ryan, this point of his career, maybe as a coach, but
not even that.
I don't. It's an interesting take, Dave. I don't know about it though.
And next year we have the NFC East against the AFC East.
Giants, Jets. We can find a way to go to that game.
And the Giants and the Jets both will be playing out here against the Raiders.
Oh, all right.
Yep. But you don't want to make a trip because you do not want to wear the Giant blue or the Jet green with those knuckleheads in the stands over there. You won't get out.
They be giving you a hard time, Dave.
I don't go to games because I watch the highlights and the fights that go on in the fourth quarter they're worth just watching the fights instead of the football game.
All right, Dave. Well, thank you for the call, bro.
Talk to you then, buddy.
Interesting take with Matt Ryan.
That might be the most wild take I've ever heard.
Matt Ryan. I think he should just hang it up and find a nice retirement home somewhere.
Should have hung it up a couple of years ago.
I agree with that. It was funny coming into this year because I watched this guy 2 times a year as a Saints fan. I'm like, the Colts really they're really going to put their eggs in the Matt Ryan basket.
Whenever I've seen Matt Ryan out on the field, I was just like, you ever seen that SpongeBob meme where it's like how many times do we have to keep telling you, old man?
You're not wrong. And then he definitely learned this year with the Colts. And that 33-0 lead was...
No, don't try to justify Matt Ryan,
Did
please,
we forget
Eric.
he won MVP?
Okay.
So what?
He was ass after.
So what?
He was garbage after.
All right, but...
When you lose 28-3 in a Super Bowl...
That wasn't his fault.
You are not mentally recovering from that.
No.
It was on Shanahan.
It was on everyone involved.
You're talking about. I respect that he won, but that's the peak of his career. That's the peak of his career.
A lot of guys can't win MVP. I'm just saying. over guys like Tom Brady in their prime, over guys like Aaron Rodgers in their prime.
Here, but we talking about 2016.
Oh, that
He put up some good
7 years ago.
I mean, like, come on,
Eric,
he's
that was
older
7
now.
years ago.
Second. And
See,
let's not act like he ain't have one of the best wide receivers at the time in Julio Jones in his prime. Stop it.
What's your point?
wait, no, yeah, that
I don't even know what side
He was able to put up those numbers in part because he had one of the best receivers in the league.
He did what he was supposed to
he
do.
was good when he won the MVP. After that, he was ass.
Yeah, but before that, it was Matty Ice.
And then afterwards, he was ass.
It was Matty Ass.
Yeah. You can't mentally recover from losing 28-3 in the biggest game of your life.
In that Vikings game, it was like somebody having flashbacks. It was just like, not again, not again.
Having more flashbacks. I mean, I guess he comes back. If you want to have him as like a... But they just sold us with Joe Flacco. A Super Bowl caliber winning quarterback. We just sold this.
I'm not saying play him. No.
One thing I can say though is him going to the Colts was the significant thing of like, yeah, his career is done. That's where all the QBs go to die nowadays. Him, Phillip Rivers.
Well, Phillip Rivers had a good season though.
He made the playoffs. Yeah.
He did, but you know, that's
who's next?
That was huh?
Who's next in Indy?
CJ Stroud.
No, we know who's next.
Who's next?
It's Carr.
No,
they
it's
said
not.
they don't
said
want
no.
him.
They said they don't want him.
They don't want
And that
him.
wouldn't even make sense for the team building.
Who said they don't
The
want him?
GM of
The Colts, yeah.
Come on, Corey.
We'll see. Because obviously, if they're not bringing back Matt Ryan, Jimmy G,
they need to.
They're drafting a quarterback.
Exactly.
They have the fourth pick.
They tried this veteran quarterback and tried to win with our running game and defense like 4 straight years. They know it's time to rebuild. Maybe they bring
time
back
to
Jeff
rebuild
Saturday.
years ago.
Exactly.
I don't even think they have to rebuild though because they have pieces on their team. All they need is a quarterback.
I don't.
They need a quarterback. They need a head coach. Maybe they need some defensive pieces.
If you say that 2 years ago, I agree with you. But looking at the team now, like those players are older. Jonathan Taylor, you know how it goes with running backs.
Hey.
Quentin Nelson. I know DeForest Buckner's a great player for them, but I think it'd be wise for them to rebuild. I don't know. The Jets definitely, they ain't got to worry about a rebuild. That's why it's an interesting conversation when it comes to do they draft a quarterback or do they get a veteran, just because I said all year long that's the championship caliber defense that they wasted. Sauce Gardner, first team All-Pro as a rookie. As a rookie. Who does that? Nobody. You haven't seen it in 40 years. So with the Jets, I really think they need to prioritize. If they can get Lamar Jackson, that's the move I make. When it comes to the number 1 pick, yeah, but you have your team's ready to win now. We saw it.
You can win now with Bryce Young, I feel.
You can, but we're talking about an MVP in Lamar Jackson, though.
No, I completely I agree. If you can get Jackson, get Jackson. If you can't get Jackson, trade for the number 1 pick.
Or I don't think.
Just don't get Jimmy G or Derek Carr.
No,
don't do it.
They'll be yeah.
Even if you can't trade for the number 1 pick and can't get Jackson, draft someone at 13. There's going to be good quarterbacks at 13.
We were talking about it before. Like, I think, yeah, Levis, Stroud, Young, those are the top 3. But you look at Hooker, who's injured, obviously. You look at Anthony Richardson, who I think is going to be a star. I know not everyone's sold on him, but that guy's going to be a star.
I would take him.
Yeah.
At 13, yeah.
The Jets do have options. One thing we do know, they're done with Zach Wilson, and they're out the playoffs, and they lost 5-6 straight games before. Yeah, 6 straight games to close the year. That's 7-10.
They went outside. They
went out pathetic. Want to remind everybody, though, that you're listening to WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. It's Joshua Umahi, joined by Eric Williams, Corey David, and Nico Each. Let's pick some games, fellas.
Woo. Woo.
Nico's hyped up. Corey's dancing. It's wildcard weekend in the NFL. And as usual on WHPC Sports Talk, we got some games to pick. And we will start with the first game on the docket. The 9-7 Seattle Seahawks, they are the 7th seed in the NFC. They are at rainy Santa Clara on Saturday. Tomorrow, the 13-4 2 seed San Francisco 49ers. Niners 9.5-point favorites. It seems big to me for a playoff game. Who we got?
San Fran.
All right.
Yeah, Brock Purdy can do it.
I'm going San Fran with a chance for an upset. I'm just saying.
You taking Seattle to cover the 9.5?
I don't know about that, but I think that there's an upset possibility.
I'm gonna go ahead and take Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gonna take Seattle?
That's a risky bet, man.
You know what? I'm saying they're a young team that doesn't know any better. I would have said the same thing about the Jets if they made it.
I know, Josh, but that defense.
I know.
That defense is good.
I ain't picking them.
Yeah, but I mean, the Raiders did put up what? How many points? 30+ points on them.
Yeah, they went off on them.
Yeah, Jared Stidham also had like the game of his life. He'll never even come close to that again.
Nah, he won't. Over under? How we feeling? Over under? You taking the 42? Over under?
Over. Under.
I'm taking the over.
Yeah.
Going with the over.
San Francisco's good for at least 30 points. So.
All right, that's the first game on Saturday tomorrow. We got the second game on NBC, 8:15 p.m. The 10-7 Los Angeles Chargers, they're the 5 seed, and they don't have Mike Williams. He's out. Brandon Staley, good job playing your starters in the meaningless game in Week 18. Good for you.
You said Mike Williams out?
Yep. Chargers at the Jacksonville Jaguars, winners of the AFC South. They are 9-8. They're the 4 seed. Chargers 1.5-point favorites. That number keeps shrinking and shrinking. Who we got?
Duval, baby.
I like
T-Law.
it. I like
Let's
it.
go.
Corey, you on the Trevor Lawrence train finally? Mike Williams out.
Come on.
Chargers, we don't know about them. Are you finally going to pick the Jaguars?
I'm going with the Los Angeles Chargers. I do not. I mean, this is obviously a shot. I'm not gonna lie. This game is 50-50 for me because it's like either team could win. I've never had that much. I hate to be the one to say I've never had that much faith in Justin Herbert. Just me personally. Somebody said he's a social media quarterback. I forgot what that.
That was Emmanuel Cho. Yeah,
that was like
that's the funniest.
I was like,
that's the funniest type of segment.
I was like, this.
Yeah, then
he looks.
Justin Herbert goes off.
He looks like he should be that guy, but sometimes he just doesn't. He just doesn't play like it. He has all the. I feel like the fundamentals 6'6", can run. He's basically. It's like Trevor Lawrence's evil twin over there, and they almost have almost the same characteristics, except one. I'm not gonna lie to T-Law's credit, he plays very well.
If it's not Justin Herbert, who's the real social media quarterback in the NFL?
Jimmy G, right?
Nah.
I think for years it was Russell Wilson.
Russ.
Definitely Russell.
No, it's easily Russ.
It
It's easily Russ. Now I think about it, it's Russ.
Man,
he do too much on social media as well.
2 nice deep balls a game. Oh, this guy's better than Mahomes. I can't believe this.
Where's his MVP? Where's his MVP?
Let Russ done.
Let Russ cook.
Russ done shut down the restaurant. Got the restaurant shut down. Food inspector was like the food was garbage.
Nathaniel Hackett was just serving up some spoiled food. I think that's what it was.
Cooking his food with spoiled milk.
Russell Wilson looks good without him, so.
He did. He had a good 2 games to close the year.
I was so mad that game. Against the against the Chargers. I was like this. Y'all finally want to play when I got money on the other side?
You should have known. Nathaniel Hackett, he was holding back. You should have known.
Look, 2 people I despise are the Chargers and the Dallas Cowboys from last week. It cost me, man. It cost me.
So, you slandered the Cowboys, but you're going to put money on them? That's hustling backwards.
I mean,
masochist.
Look. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I'm just an idiot if you mess this up against this I want to say AARP quarterback who should be in the retirement. If Michael Parsons ain't getting at least 3 sacks against this immobile quarterback, we gonna have some problems.
Hey, we're gonna get to that game in a little bit, but Chargers at Jaguars, Eric.
I'm taking the Chargers. I mean, Justin Herbert right now is the better quarterback. It's close, but
it's not close. I feel like
it's close.
T-Law's the better quarterback, and I feel like
T-Law's MVP next season. What are we talking about?
I'm not gonna lie. Yo, the smartest thing I think they ever did was get Travis Etienne.
They got clowned for it at the time too.
No,
they had James Robinson.
I feel like they have that same chemistry that they had at Clemson, and I feel like you can see certain instances where he looks exactly like his Clemson self. So yeah, there's no comparison between the 2.
2 on the Chargers, 2 on the Jaguars. I'm taking Duval.
Let's go, baby.
I'm with Trevor Lawrence and them. They go up to Kansas City and give them a game. On to Sunday's slate, though. The 9-8. Why are they in the playoffs? I don't want to see this. I want to see Skylar Thompson in the playoffs. The 9-8 Dolphins are the 7th seed. They are at the 13-3 Buffalo Bills. They're the 2 seed. How about this for a playoff spread? 13.5.
I thought what's the name? Tyreek Hill was like, I get numbers with anybody. Let's see if you can get numbers with Skylar Thompson.
Yeah, Skylar Thompson might be pushing it a little bit. But who we got? I see Nico with the mischievous smile over there. Well, what you about to say?
I'm gonna go Miami.
There's no way you're going Miami. Why? What?
He's up here playing.
I had to pick my upset.
Look, stop the cap. Stop the cap.
It's gonna be Miami.
You think Mike McDaniel's gonna go up to Buffalo and coach up a win?
Yeah, I do. I need chaos in my life.
All right.
You don't want peace. Always chaos.
Can't have peace.
One thing I'll say, I think this a 13.5 spread is disrespectful. I'm not gonna take that.
All I'm gonna say is
It's fair though.
Miami beating the Buffalo. It's fake news. It'll never happen. Nobody has any proof that the Miami Dolphins are them. You know, I think what was the record that they finished with? 8-8?
9-8.
9-8. It had a basic record to me. I feel like without Tua, you don't have the capacity or the capabilities to beat a team like Buffalo. And I feel like, especially with Josh Allen, I feel like he's going to at least rush for a touchdown or two.
Oh, if Tua was playing and wasn't one concussion away from being a vegetable for the rest of his life, I'd pick Miami, but it's not the case. You got Skylar Thompson playing against Buffalo. Who we got, Eric?
See, I'm here shaking my head because of I hope the camera caught that.
Hey! No, I was stretching, man.
That was wild, bro.
I was stretching.
Oh my god.
I was stretching.
Yeah,
Y'all
okay.
wild for these accusations. False accusations.
Let the Facebook Live audience decide.
It's not even on.
It's
Buffalo's going to win this game. It's not even going to be close.
I'm on the Bills, too. Let's move on to the big local battle, the local matter. The New York Giants at 9-6-1. They are the 6th seed in the NFC. They are at the Minnesota Vikings.
Minnesota!
13-4. They're the 3 seed. The Frauds against the Giants. I'll let y'all go first. Who we got?
Corey, who we got?
You had to go.
Let's hear it.
Oh.
Let's hear it.
My heart says Giants,
Pick a team, damn it.
but my mind says Vikings.
So what does Corey Davis say? Let's hear it.
I hate y'all for this.
Make a decision.
Who is gonna win?
Minnesota Vikings.
Minnesota!
What happened? What happened to the Giants?
My heart wants me to
Jones.
my heart wants me to go with the Giants, but my mind says the Vikings. It just makes too much sense for the Vikings to win this game.
I see what you're doing. You're doing the reverse jinx over there. We gonna see. But Nico, who we got?
We're gonna see the first ever playoff tie.
You can't though.
No, we're not. You can't continue.
Nah, Minnesota.
Minnesota. All right.
Justin Jefferson is gonna have Randy Moss stat line.
Oh,
Three catches, 3 touchdowns, 163 yards.
Yo, he might pull out. He might pull out the Randy Moss throw again this time. Again next week.
Jay Jetta should have a big game.
His first playoff game too.
First playoff game. He's looking to show out.
I think. All right, the Vikings are gonna win this game, but I just think
All right, so
the thing behind it, right?
So I'm not crazy. I'm
Can I
not.
finish? Justin Jefferson isn't gonna have the big game you want him to have. He's gonna have about 90 yards, but I think it's T.J. Hawkinson who's gonna have the big game.
I think he's had a touchdown in 3 or 4 straight games.
He had 16 targets the last time they played the Giants. So.
You know,
Damn.
I spent all week gassing up the Giants. Oh, this is the Giants win the game for this reason, that reason.
Nah.
Yeah, when it gets to that time, hey, we ain't gonna fool ourselves now. We gonna call it like it really is.
I'm surprised none of y'all are on the Giants, especially you, Corey. I'm shocked.
Hey, my heart want to go with the Giants. I'm gonna be rooting for the Giants. Obviously.
So here's my thing. Anytime the country is way too much on one team, America's heavy on the Giants. I'm fading the public. I gotta go Vikings.
Yeah.
I gotta go Vikings.
I just think sometimes talent's just gonna win ultimately
Exactly.
in the playoffs. So.
I ain't gonna lie though. If they do win, I'm coming here with my Giants jersey, a little pep in my step.
The Lawrence Taylor jersey?
Yeah.
Lawrence Taylor?
How you gonna do that?
Do what?
The only one I was sold just recently. I'm gonna give me a Kayvon Thibodeau one soon.
If you walk, you know the Giants fans should be in sicko mode if you win in Minnesota. Like Lawrence Taylor jersey, go all the way with it. Too far?
You a little
too far.
Parade in the Canyon of Heroes. One playoff win.
I do it. Yeah, been a while. Giants haven't won a playoff game since Super Bowl 46. So that's a long time ago. That's
goddamn.
I mean, we should have won one. We don't know which one that was.
Not the Packers one.
He was the Packers.
No, whooped your ass in that game.
Nah.
If Dominic got so excited, little boat picture.
If Dominic Rodgers-Kamari don't get injured, we got y'all.
Taking the boat pick in hindsight, taking the boat pick right before you about to play prime Aaron Rodgers is a choice. That's a choice. I don't know if that's
a choice. Just, perfect Hail Mary to end the half. Yeah. Don't start this.
Good times. Few Packers fans.
Don't act like if Odell don't drop a couple touchdowns, y'all ain't done. Stop it. Stop it.
But you know what? Isaiah Hodgins is here to. All right. On to the next game.
All right. When the Giants win.
So now they're winning.
I said with my heart they're gonna win.
We'll see.
What kind of heart you have? Not even gonna pick your team. Nah.
My heart.
Corey, one last chance. Giants, Vikings. Who you picking? One last chance. It's on the record.
You know what? Since everybody was going with the Vikings, I'm gonna rock with the Giants.
Exactly. You know what you wanted to do. You know you wanted to do.
They're gonna get blown out by 40 now since he said that. Daniel Jones let's tear both ACLs. This is over.
If they lose,
he's not walking over.
Even if they lose, I'll win because it was a great season. It was a good season for us.
That's a great. I'm so happy for you.
Are you gonna do the emotional hedge bet?
I mean,
that Vikings money line looking kind of.
Technically, I already did that.
I know you did.
What kind of fan is this?
A fan who it's all about that cash.
A fan who makes sure no matter how the game ends, he's gonna win. Corey knows he's gonna win.
I didn't even go front. No, I did something wild though. I put $20 down for the Giants Super Bowl future bet.
For this year?
Yeah, this year.
You just had $20 to blow. You just
you know how much you get for the Giants win that? Stop playing.
Deposit that check in that morning. Just like, all right, $20 easy.
I spent stuff on stupid things.
Yeah? I believe it.
See how the Giants do on Sunday. Sunday night game. Baltimore Ravens 10-7 6 seed. Will Lamar Jackson play? Will he not play? They are at the Cincinnati Bengals regardless. 12-4 3 seed. Interesting comments by Sammy Watkins on Lamar Jackson's playing situation.
Before you want to go, I want to confess something.
What you about to confess?
I was completely wrong this shit.
Do I need to play the church music?
I was totally wrong. I said that Tyler Huntley is just as good as Lamar Jackson. I came to the realization that was totally untrue.
You think I know
football? 18 weeks, bro?
You think I know football? I tried to tell you. Like, there's no way you can say that. There's no way. They straight dog doodle without Lamar. It's like
obvious?
Really
without me.
You're the last person on the planet to figure that out. I promise you.
And guess what their third string quarterback's name is?
I've been watching these games and I've been like, oh my Lord. Mark Andrews is like, I need my quarterback. He's a Pro Bowl tight end with Lamar. Without Lamar, you're like, who is this tight end? Miscellaneous.
Mark Andrews would be a nice piece in that 3-team package to go to Chicago.
There you go. I really did like that idea though. That was a good idea.
But
all that being said, who we picking?
Get to the Sammy Watkins. What he said.
Oh yeah, let me pull that up real quick. While I do that, we on the Bengals this game?
Oh yeah.
In the great words of Deion Sanders, when it comes to the Baltimore Ravens without Lamar Jackson, ain't nobody care. Don't nobody care about the Baltimore Ravens without Lamar Jackson. It's just trash.
Ain't wrong.
What's the over-under?
Over-under at 40.5.
The over. Hammer the over. Bet the house on the over.
Yeah. All we about to see is nothing but gritties in the end zone.
Oh, yeah.
Some coin flips, too. I like that Bengals coin flip celebration last week. They just strike me as a team that, they got there. They knew they were too young to be there, but now they know what it takes to get back to the Super Bowl. That's just me. But to those Sammy Watkins comments, the nerve of Sammy Watkins, yo. Let me just read this. Quote, I don't want to speak for him in this situation and whatever he's going through with the contracts. I don't know what world he's in, but for me, you got a chance to do something special. We all know with Lamar Jackson out there, this team is really freaking good. Special things can happen. He can will this team do a Super Bowl? I just don't think he's thinking about it that way.
My knee. What I'm supposed to do with an unstable knee out there? Look, I gave it all I got for how many weeks? How I'm supposed to love the team if the team don't love me back?
It's that? And who is Sammy Watkins to say this?
Y'all done gave
you just got there 3 weeks ago.
Y'all done gave...
How you gonna comment on Lamar Jackson's contract?
Look, they done gave a stranger... I've been here 5 years. You done get... Roquan comes in 1 year, you give him $100 million?
He's done as a Raven, I told you that.
I'm like...
I told you that for weeks.
I'm like, look. Soon as he got that little hit... I'm be honest. I don't even know how serious Lamar Jackson is injured. But as soon as he got that hit, yeah, I would have went like Peter Griffin would have went. My knee hurt. I can't go, coach. And I feel like John Harbaugh's been giving a little like I feel like they low key been nudging him to try to force him to play because he says he has a grade 2 close to a grade 3 strain, and it's like everybody like. Oh, I don't know if Lamar Jackson's gonna be playing. I don't know. Like
he's not.
You know he wasn't gonna play.
He's not playing.
You was keep it a buck. You was trying to force him like the team needs you. We can't do this without you. And I feel like they probably would have used a guy like Calais Campbell or Justin Houston. Like these guys only got so many years. We don't know if we're gonna be back in the playoffs next year. You have something like you said. We have the opportunity to do something special.
Yeah, but I'm sure he's worried about the bag, and he already sacrificed his health for the Ravens once already. I'm not sure he's willing to do it again.
Even though technically, like a LeBron James situation, he did say on draft day, y'all gonna get everything out of me. I'm just saying, he did say that.
Well, another team will get everything out of Lamar Jackson next year.
That's cold-blooded. I honestly don't see Lamar being that type of dude. I feel like he'll be back. He's gonna be back. He just don't strike me as that type of dude. He wants to give Baltimore a Super Bowl.
Well, somebody can strike you as whatever dude they want to be. I think we all want money at the end of the day. And we want to be paid what we're worth.
He seems like he's not one of them type of dudes that actually is all about the money.
Nah, but they disrespecting them over there in Baltimore. So
nah, the most disrespectful thing is not the contract. It's that you never gave me weapons.
Maybe they're trying to drive his value down for this reason.
Even if he does come back, who I got? I got Sammy Watkins, James Prochet.
James Prochet. That's not a real person. It's not a real person. There's no way.
It's a Sims character.
James Prochet.
That's an NPC.
Number 3.
He's not a real person.
Number 3.
Prochet. Who is James Prochet?
And then
who's Lamar going to? This is a situation.
What's the other receiver who used to be on the Kansas City Chiefs? Number 10.
Marcus Robinson.
Yeah, I'm like, you gonna give me Patrick Mahomes? Not even his third best receiver, like his 4th or 5th best receiver. And you notice he been always getting Patrick Mahomes hand-me-downs for like the last couple of years.
The sloppy seconds, damn.
And not even the good ones. Like I can't get a Tyreek Hill. I can't get that.
They're giving it to him sloppy and loose, damn.
Pause.
Eric, who we got?
Oh, Tyrone Burrow.
Oh my God.
Can I say? No, I can't.
No.
What was you about to say?
Nothing.
You not gonna.
I'll show him.
We're not doing it with the swaggy. We're not doing it with the swaggy QB.
They changed his name.
He's Tyrone Burrow.
He has certain privileges.
I'm not gonna lie. If he come in there with that,
he about to lie.
Yeah, you know they. Time out. You know he don't get no passes like that.
Tyrone Burrow don't get no passes.
Soon as I start seeing him, only person in the league I'm giving that type of pass to. Not that pass. Oh wait a second. Not that pass. I'm just talking about kind of looking like got that swag. is a Travis Kelce. He got that
all
swag. Travis Kelce got swag. I'm not giving him that pass.
I can dig that.
I know. Look, the way that he got that swag. Burrow, you shouldn't be trying to come out with the iced out chain and the Cardis. That's not you.
It's the Bengals on the throne. They got to knock him off. He's an AFC champion.
You know, we all know why that is, though.
Why is that?
Why is that?
Humor me.
Lamar. If Lamar plays a full season, they not the AFC. They not even a division champ.
With that being said, I'm taking Cincinnati, of course.
Joe Burrow.
If Lamar was playing, I ain't gonna lie, I would pick Baltimore.
Yeah, if Lamar was playing, I would have picked Baltimore as well.
I'm picking the Bengals all the way. They're going back to the Super Bowl, in my opinion. But
get this man to cycle.
Corey, you're the only person that doesn't think this for real.
I do that. Hold me to it.
Forgive me, everyone. I need the fuzzy socks for saying the Bengals are going to go back to the Super Bowl after going last year. They beat
socks?
the Bills. They beat
The grippy sock.
The Grippy Sock Hotel, Josh. WHPC takes over Grippy Sock Hotel.
Let's do it.
Live from the Psych Ward. WHPC Sports Talk. We got Caleb over here. He's in a room by himself.
Oh, no.
It's padded. He has a straight jacket.
Straight jacket.
So we got one more game to go.
Yeah, let's do it. The Dallas Cowboys, 12-5, they're the 5 seed. They're at the Tom Booty Buccaneers at 8-9, they're the 4 seed. Dallas 2.5-point favorites on the road. Eric, who we got?
What? Nah, come on. You had to first.
He went to me with the Jags.
You're right.
You know what would be funny if Antonio Brown just shows up to the stadium with a Cowboys jersey on.
I need him holding up that tweet. Tampon Bay.
Tom Booty. I can't believe he tweeted that.
That man won him a Super Bowl.
Who you got, Eric?
You know who I got?
Them boys.
You expecting not to take my own team?
What, Nico?
Them boys.
Oh.
He's got them buccaneers.
Who you got?
Buccaneers.
You got the Buccaneers?
Yeah.
That's not what he said.
Yeah, no. Say what I said.
He got the Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers. He kisses his son. Okay.
I ain't gonna lie.
I gotta say.
I ain't gonna lie. Son was wild. Son was wild. Son was wilding with that picture though. Son was wilding with that picture.
Picture was
But you know, now
Dad, stop poking me.
You're not subscribing to me.
You're wild out here. You're wild out here. Stop it.
No more Giselle. He needs some fun time.
Pause. They are wild.
He chooses to do it with his own son. What kind of man are you to be doing that with your own son?
Yo, chill.
Nah.
I'm not putting that on him. That's wild.
He put it on his son.
No. Hey, yo.
So, Corey, who do you have?
Well, all I'm gonna say is this. I'm gonna leave y'all with it. I'll probably. If Dallas don't win this game, I'm gonna have real problems. If they the team that costs me my parlay, and yes, I'm going for. If they cost me my parlay, I'm gonna have problems. You shouldn't. Michael Parsons, Diggs, Zeke, Pollard. It's coming from me, John. I need y'all, B. I need y'all.
I don't think the defense is the problem. Defense is not the problem in this game. I'm way more worried about the offense.
Anyone in specific?
I mean, yeah, I would too, because I'm outside of CD. Really don't have no receivers that's like that guy. Like that's a good complimentary. T.Y. Hilton, hopefully he could.
I'm gonna piggyback off what Nico's saying. Like, I think you're only really concerned about one guy.
Yeah.
One player, and then Kellen Moore calling the plays.
I'm
Michael
telling you,
McCarthy being your head coach.
If he starts the game like 5-5, we good, baby.
Oh wait, what's that? You got Dallas
until he's like 5 for 17.
You down with that? You ain't got love for that?
It is, bro.
Corey, you ain't watched that game?
You know what it is. Like, it's been like this since week 1. This is the thing, right? The Buccaneers know our game plan. It's very simple. Your receivers run 10 yards out, and they come back. That's all they do. Or you're running a slant, or you're gonna have that one play over the middle where CeeDee Lamb is running over the middle in the slot.
So you essentially calling what I think you call him? Think and dunk that.
That is what it is.
Wow.
I mean,
That's the version of Dak that's going to win a Super Bowl, though.
Wow.
They're not going to win a Super Bowl with him just passing the ball all over.
Now, if you get Tony Pollard and wheel routes, if they play like how they played against the Vikings, where you had Tony Pollard on wheel routes and the ball was just moving everywhere. Listen,
Tampa Bay's not good. I'll never
understand this. Like, why is it that Dallas Cowboys fans be the one that goes in on Dak the most, and it be guys like us and Shannon Sharp who be defending him? Like, he's not that bad.
Because they see it every week. They know what it is. That's where the frustration comes from. But I got the Cowboys getting the victory. They better not lose to Tampa Bay. That's all I'll say. Well, that'll do it for our game picks for Wild Card Weekend from WHPC Sports Talk. Thank you once again for listening on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. From Eric Williams, Corey David, Nico Each. This is Joshua Umahi signing off. Enjoy this weekend's games, everybody. See you Monday at 4.